Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about ghosts. And today I'm in my home office, so make sure you make yourself a cup of coffee or tea if you like tea, and join me, and we're going to talk about ghosts today. So there's different dimensions that are connected to the earth. And we are in the third dimension. The third dimension is the physical, the spiritual, connected to the earthly body, and we're incarnated. So that's the third dimension. The fourth dimension is right here with us. So they kind of layer over each other. And the fourth dimension is where the ghost entities lie. This is where the ghosts are connected to the earth, but they do not have a body. Now, when we pass, what happens is we instantly get a choice. It's in a fraction of a moment where we choose to go to the light or to stay connected to the earth plane. Now, if we go to the light, we go through this, I call it a sieve. People call it the veil. We go through this veil energy and we cross over. And when we go through the veil, we disintegrate the ego self and get rid of the fear and the anger and the negativity and all the things that are connected with ego are shed away and disintegrated. And then we cross over into the light. So everything that's good about us is in that light, fifth energy, fifth dimension field. Loved ones on the other side are in the light most of the time. And our angels are in the light. Our guides are in the light. They're all in the fifth dimension. Now, there are other dimensions beyond that, but we're not going to talk about that right now. There's so much to it. But we're just going to focus on the fourth dimension today. And the fourth dimension is the closest dimension to the earth. And that's why so many people who are psychic, have psychic ability, they see ghosts first. So when you're developing your psychic awareness, your third eye is opening up, you're getting more vivid dreams, deja vus. Maybe you go somewhere that is haunted or has history of being haunted, and you see it, and you see the ghost, or you feel somebody's watching you. A lot of times, if you have psychic ability, when you're a little kid, you end up not being able to sleep at night. You feel like somebody's watching you, but nobody's in the room. A lot of times it's a ghost. The ghost is in the room with you. Now, those ghosts are also called earthbound spirits. So if they made the choice to be here and stay on the earth, it's usually because they're either afraid to go to God, they could be afraid to be judged, or maybe they did something wrong. They don't want to go to God. They have fear, judgment. Some of them have like really strong religious connections where they feel like they can't go there. They don't deserve to go to the light. And then you have other beings that are people who have died abruptly, quickly, and maybe they're lost, they're scared. They could also be kind of like, I don't know, just emotionally negative in some form, not forgiving. Feel like they are mad. They could be angry that they died. That's another big thing, is feeling this anger. So what happens is ghosts are all around us. Now, I live in the Northeast United States, and we have a lot of ghosts here. We're really close to Gettysburg, Salem, New York, all this, where there was a lot of issues that happened in history where we've had wars, Civil War, Revolutionary War. There was so much that happened here, and we have a lot of ghosts here. But when you're psychic, when you're a kid, maybe you were a kid or you have kids where they have psychic ability, and what happens is they can't sleep. They feel like somebody's in the room. They feel like somebody's watching them. They have bad dreams, nightmares. Ghosts usually give us nightmares. So ghosts are always finding ways where they can interact with us. They're always trying to find this solution to their problem, but they think that connecting with us will solve the problem. And a lot of times it can. We can cross ghosts over. We can take them to the light. We can create a grid to block them out. So I'll talk about that in a minute. We can also make them release their fear and release their anger to help them cross over. So there's so much that ghosts look to us for, but there's also a lot of negatives. If they're not willing to cross over and they're not willing to release their pain or their anger, then they'll attach to you, because whatever they did when they were here, whether it was maybe they were an alcoholic. You know, I had years and years ago, I had an experience where an alcoholic attached to me, and I will never forget it. It was awful. And I was doing a reading. It was right in the beginning. It must have been 20 years ago, right in the beginning of my path, learning how to do this work. And I wasn't taught. I had to learn it on my own. I wasn't really, you know, I read books and did retreats and things like that, learned different classes eventually. But when I first started out, I kind of learned on my own. And this alcoholic attached to me in a reading that I was doing for somebody. And I'll never forget it, but the whole time I was going home, on my way home, I just felt like I needed a drink. And I remember being, you know, white-knuckled in the car driving, and I couldn't wait to get home to get a drink. It was a horrible experience. And it was like this ghost took me over. So I got home, and I always say hello to my husband. I always give him a kiss hello when I walk in the door. So I walk in the door, and I walk right past him. I go to the alcohol cabinet, and I started pulling out my alcohol. And my husband's watching me like, what is going on here? What are you doing? And I just hold a finger up and I said, wait. And I could feel this energy just want that drink. So needless to say, it ended up that I started getting a drink. I started pouring myself a drink. And I'm not one for really hard alcohol. So this ghost apparently wanted Jack Daniels. And I pour out a drink of amaretto and take one sip, and all I heard was this ghost screaming, oh, like this, oh, and it just left me. I could feel it leave, and it was hysterical. Like, after the fact, when I look back, I could feel that energy just released, and oh, I was so relieved that it had gone, but its need for alcohol was so strong. And what it taught me is that these ghosts really are using us to be able to feel those things of comfort, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever. So it can make you feel attached to things that are not good for you and attached to people. It can hurt you. These ghosts are not your friends, guys. Ghosts are not your friends, because they can't help you succeed. They can't help you survive life. They can't give you positive things because they don't come from a positive source. They are earthbound. They're stuck. You know, in Christianity, I grew up Catholic, so in Christianity, it was purgatory. You know, you're stuck. And it's not that God makes you stuck or makes you become a ghost. It's you. You have that choice. You have that split-second choice when you die to become a spirit that is in the light or to stay a ghost connected to the earth. You have that split-second choice. And it's so important for us, if we have a loved one that's getting ready to cross over, to say, go to the light, go to God. It's okay to go. We're okay. You don't have to worry about us. It's really important to do that because you're helping them cross over into the light. You don't want them to be a ghost. Now, remember that I said that ghost energy is not good for you. It's not friendly. There's no such thing as Casper. No ghost is good for you. Even if you think that it's a friendly one, that it can stay, it's okay, it doesn't hurt you, as long as it doesn't hurt you or do anything negative, that it can stay in your location. That's not good. Realize that if you're telling a ghost that it can stay with you and that it can stay as long as it doesn't hurt you, you're actually making it comfortable to stay trapped on the earth when they can experience nirvana, when they can go to their loved ones that are in the light. You're actually allowing them to stay stuck and trapped. You know, even little kids, I went to a location where a woman had a little kid that was a ghost that was connected to her. She could see the little kid, and the little kid would call her mommy. And I told the woman, you're keeping her here. You're making her feel comfortable on the fourth dimension in this plane, becoming her pseudo mom, when she has a real mom that's in the light that's waiting for her and she can't see her. So instead of keeping her here, help her find her way to the light, to her mom. And she didn't realize that we keep ghosts trapped here for our own purposes when they can go to the light and feel peace and freedom and without pain, without anger and fear and anxiety. That's why we see them, because we're supposed to help them. We're supposed to help them. And I decided years ago that I was going to create a light worker army. This is a class that I would teach in my holistic center for years, and how to deal with ghosts and how to cross them over. And if you can't cross them over, then you barricade them or block them out from your life and keep them away from yourself and your family. You're never going to feel happiness from a ghost. You're always going to feel negativity from them. It's never going to be good. I had a situation where a man was in an apartment, and in this apartment, he befriended the ghost that was connected to the location. And he became friends with the ghost, and he would allow the ghost to stay with him, and he would talk to the ghost when he was off of work and he was in his apartment. And what happened was the ghost didn't want him to leave, and the man wanted to actually move and find another place to live, somewhere better, but he had to save money. So every time he saved a certain amount of money, the ghost would actually break his car, break his truck. And it wasn't just an easy repair, wasn't just like $100 or $200. It was always $1,000 or more that needed to go into this truck to get fixed. And it happened 3 times until this man came to me. And I said, the ghost is doing it because he doesn't want you to leave. So ghosts want you to stay if you get along. There are a lot of times where they don't want you there. If you do like any kind of renovations in the house, if you're changing things in a location in a house, they won't like it. They will lash out. They'll do things, they'll break things. I've seen a ghost lift a lamp off of a table and actually have it hover, and it was extended from the cord, so the cord was plugged into the wall and it came crashing down. I've seen a ghost actually pick up a camera that someone was holding and crash it onto the floor. It actually levitated and lifted out of this person's arms and came crashing down. This ghost was mad. You name it, I've seen it. I could be here all day telling you stories of ghosts and what they've done. I've even told people to move. There were situations where I locked it down, where I gridded it out, and I saged it and everything, and it had actually moved a crystal that was there for protection to keep it out. It actually had shot one of the crystals out of off the windowsill across the room, and it came back in. So I told that person they just need to move. Like this place it's not you're not able to block the ghosts out. So that's what happens sometimes. If you can't cross a ghost might not want to leave. They might want to stay there, and they'll fight you tooth and nail to stay. Sometimes they're really strong, and sometimes we need to go. You know, that just is the way it is. The more attention that you give a ghost, the more friendship you give it, the more you talk to it, the more you befriend it, the stronger it gets. And then not only does it get stronger and attached to you, but then it starts bringing its friends. It says, hey, everybody, check this out. This person can see us. They're welcoming me. So, you know, they're going to start bringing their friends. I've seen people have multiple ghost attachments. It's so important to realize that ghosts are not your friends. Always remember that ghosts are not your friends. And especially if they have addictions, if they have drug addictions, alcohol addictions, they'll make you want to experience those drugs again, because when you do it and they're attached to you, they can feel those drugs again. They can feel they can attach to you and feel the energy that you're feeling being on drugs. If you're having a hard time fighting it, a lot of times there's a drug addict that is a ghost that can be attached to you, that is constantly making you want to crave it more and more. So it's really about recognizing that, is this me? Is this me, really me? Or is there an attachment? And like I said, ghosts are never going to be your friend. Don't ever do any kind of EVP work, like recording work. When you record a ghost, what happens is you're making it react to your demands. So you tell a ghost, I want to hear you, do these things, prove to me that you're here. And that only creates a stronger attachment to them. And then they can follow you home. So there's 3 different ways ghosts interact with us. One is through a location. So they can be connected to a house, a location, a building of sorts. It could be you could even have a new house built on maybe a farm property, and they're connected to that farmhouse, and that property is theirs, and your house could be new, and you could still have the ghost of the tenant that was on that farm attached to you or do things in your house. You also have transient ghosts. Transient ghosts are where there's a death of someone nearby in a town or like a block or 2 away, and this transient ghost comes into your home because somebody there is psychic. Whether it's your kid, it's you, they'll see that somebody there is really connected, and that they think that you can help them, and they'll come into your house. I had a situation where a little boy wouldn't go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. He just did not want to go. He kept saying that there was a guy in the hallway, and the mom kept trying to talk to him, it's okay, and tried to help him. And finally she called me, and I went to go talk to the little boy. He was like 8, I think he was. And we sat down, and I said, you see him, right? He has jeans on. And the little boy said, yeah. And I said, he has like a t-shirt on, and he's holding a helmet. And the little boy says, yes. He keeps talking to me in the middle of the night. And so he looked like a motorcycle rider. So I talked to the woman the mom, and I said to her, was there a guy that died on a motorcycle nearby? And she just went, oh my God, she goes, a month ago, 2 blocks away, there was a man who died on a motorcycle, got in an accident, and he died. And so it validated the story. So I just talked to the motorcycle guy, the ghost. And remember that ghosts are just people. Ghosts aren't demons or monsters or anything. If they become monster-esque or demon-like, it's just that we give it so much energy that it becomes stronger and stronger. That's why it's so important not to give ghosts energy. So this ghost that had gotten in an accident, I just talked to it, and I was able to tell it he needs to go to the light, he needs to go to God, and he ended up moving over. And then the little boy stopped seeing him and everything was fine. So you can talk to ghosts to get them to cross over. The point that I want to stress is you're doing it like a doctor talks to a patient, not that the ghost is a lover or a best friend. No, it's about you helping to discuss what the problem is, and you direct the ghost to go to the light, go to God, go to source energy, but without getting too wrapped up in their feelings and their emotions and what you can do for them. It's not about being friends. It's about like being a doctor. It's about staying detached, finding the problem, and then solving it by crossing them over into the light. You're doing a job. You're crossing them. You're not befriending them. And then once you feel that, you'll feel actually the room lift up in energy. You'll feel it lighter. It won't feel so dense. Sometimes you can walk into a place and it feels real thick, real heavy. Ghosts make you feel negative, angry. So if you're fine outside and then you walk into this room or this house and all of a sudden you start getting angry or you start crying for no reason at all, you were fine a few minutes ago, that's because the ghost is making you feel their energy. You are psychic enough that you're picking up on the ghost's feelings. And that's how you can tell if a ghost is a ghost and a spirit is a spirit. A spirit is a person who went into the light, and their energy will never make you fearful. A spirit will always give you encouragement, support, love you. They'll show you butterflies and birds. They'll bring signs. They'll have you you'll hear music. You'll hear a song that's very uplifting. It reminds you of this person. A spirit will always bring you positivity and never, ever make you fearful. They will never scare you. They will bring you coins too. Pennies from heaven is a real thing. So a ghost will always be negative. A ghost can never make you feel happy, success, positive, peaceful. It's always a negative thing. So that's how you can tell whether it's a spirit or a ghost, by feeling it. You're going to feel it. So if you feel goosebumps and it feels positive and you feel upliftment and you go, wow, that's amazing, that's a spirit. It could be your guides, it could be your angels. But if it feels like dread, feels heavy, the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up, you can't wait to get out, you feel freaked out. I call it skeeved. That's an old word from the 80s or whatever, skeeved out. If you feel that energy, it's really about recognizing, whoa, this isn't good. This is something bad. This is something that I don't, and I need to work on my boundaries. And I have another video that you can listen to, the boundaries video, help you block that. And empathy, if you're an empath. So that'll help you with blocking that energy. And the other way that a ghost attaches to us is really attachment. So you could go somewhere. So think about, if you go to a bar, okay, you go to a bar, where was the last place an alcoholic might have been before they died that made them feel good? So you go to this bar and a ghost realizes or sees that you can see them, or feels that connection that you're psychic in some way, and they feel like that they can use you or get something from you or attach to you, they will follow you home. They will actually follow you home. You can have a ghost follow you from one location to another location if you move, but most of the time, if it's a ghost connected to the location, they'll stay there, and then you can leave and feel free that they're away from you. Another thing you can do is, one thing you need to do totally if you feel there's a ghost energy is to sage your house. Now, sage, it sounds like it's, new agey kind of thing, but actually ghosts don't like sage. And I think the Native Americans knew that when they used to burn sage. Sage is an herb that you can burn. You can get desert sage. You can get all kinds of different sages. It doesn't have to be just sage. There's a really great one where they wrap lavender together with sage. It's beautiful. You can also use Palo Santo, which is a special wood that is like a sacred wood that you could burn. But it all has to do with clearing the space. So what you want to do is, burning sage is not about getting the flame, but it's actually the smoke. So when you burn sage, you just want the smoke. So you light the sage bundle and you allow it to burn, get the smoke flowing. And then what you want to do is start from your main entrance and then go to your left and follow the walls of your house, your property, your location, your business, whatever it is. Follow the walls, and you want to waft the smoke into the corners. So there are ghosts, believe it or not, that are hiding like this and leaning up against a corner, trying to get away from the smoke, just until they can come back out again. I know it sounds weird, but I've seen them do it. So make sure that you get all the corners, get the closets, go all through the main floor from left to right. So you're doing clockwise. As you go through the whole main floor, doing the closets, doing every corner, along the walls, then you make it back to the main door. Then you go on the second floor and an attic, and you do the second floor the same way. Going into the closets, going in everywhere, every nook and cranny. If you have an attic space, do the attic. Then you go down into the basement and do the basement floor all the way around, any crawl spaces, get everything. Don't leave anything out because they will hide. There are a lot of times I go to a house to go clear a ghost and they run and hide in the farthest location just so that I won't go near them, that I might miss them. And they know I'm coming, so they know when you're going to break out the sage. After you sage everything, so it's kind of like everybody out of the pool kind of energy. When you sage, it's pushing all that negativity out. But what happens is everybody misses the next step. And the next step is to put crystals in the windows. So we get all that negative energy out, but when the sage dissipates, that they can come back in again. So if you put crystals in the window, in each of the windows, right after the saging, so you sage everything and you take little crystals, and they don't have to be big. Like here's a little one that I have in this window right now. And this is actually citrine. So it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can get little pieces of quartz. Clear quartz works great. And you can use kyanite if you want. Kyanite's really strong, or selenite. Any little tiny pieces of crystals. And your intention is that it's going to protect you. So as you put the crystal down, and you can even use, if you're a Christian, you can use the sign of the cross. You can call on Archangel Michael to help you. You can visualize the crystal. You can infuse it with Reiki energy. Whatever you want to do to empower that, but your intention needs to be clear that this is going to protect your space. So as you put the crystal in each window, now if you have a double window, you can just do one crystal, that's fine. But you put it in on the windowsill, or you put it where it locks, wherever you want to put it, every window, and it has to be on every floor. So second floor, upper floor, the basement, make sure you have crystals everywhere in every window. And above the door frame. I usually put a little piece of flat kyanite above the door frame. Now, what happens is it creates like a giant force field. Each crystal connects to each other crystal in each window, and it creates a vortex. It's a grid which blocks out all negativity. So it's basically like saying, I got rid of all the negativity in the space, and then I locked and bolted every window, every door to keep that energy out. Okay, so that's your intention, and that's how the crystals work. I promise you, if you do this, it will work. It is absolutely amazing. I've done it over and over again. How you can tell it's working is if you come home or other people come over and they instantly feel like they need to take their shoes off and relax and they want to hang out, and people feel safe. And it's hard to get rid of people. Like there's times where we'll have a party and nobody wants to leave because it feels so safe in my home. And the same with my work. It's all gridded out. And you can use, you can even use symbols and things like that to help. You know, you can use the sign of the cross, whatever you feel connected to with your own faith. But that energy makes your home or your workplace feel like it's protected. Like you can relax and you don't have to feel on edge. You don't feel like you have to watch out for your back or worry about somebody hurting you in some way. You can get rest. You'll be able to sleep. One of the first things that happens if there's a ghost connection in your home is that you'll have nightmares. And these nightmares will be fearful, they'll be evil, they'll be dreadful, like horrible nightmares. One time I went to a location that was really haunted. When I got home, I had horrible nightmares for 3 days. I felt totally funked out. And it was because that energy came with me, it attached to me. And you have to make sure that you protect your energy as well. That's why we have crystals. That's why we wear crystals. So I have an amethyst crystal. I have a labradorite. There's crystals, crystal earrings. We wear crystals to protect our energy, and it keeps us safe and protected from negativity. And your aura, your auric field is a grid. It can be your protective force field. And you can make sure that your energy, your aura is your protection when you go out into the world. And you can enhance it. You can make it stronger just by your will, your thoughts, your intention of making your boundaries, your auric field really, really strong and really powerful so that no negativity can attach to you, no negativity can affect you. And how you can feel it's working is that everybody around you could be upset or devastated or crying or upset, angry, but you're happy. You're in peace. When you're in peace, that is a true, true testament to you protecting yourself and keeping you in a higher vibration. So when you hear about vibration, vibration is a thing. If you have a higher, lighter vibration, more positive, more light-filled, happier, more joyful, more gratitude, seeing life with gratitude and wonder, that keeps your vibration up. And that keeps ghosts and negative entities away from you. They can't take a positive, optimistic, gratitude-filled energy field that you have. They can't take it. Ghosts can't take that. They like dread and victimhood and negativity and feelings of undeservedness, like feeling that you don't matter. You know, any kind of negative energy like that, they feed on it. They love it. And that's why it's so important that your energy needs to be high. You have to focus on high positive energy every day. And if you don't wake up with a positive energy filled force field in yourself, if you're not like that, you need to get there. Listen to music, find something that you're grateful for, play with a pet, whatever it is. You have to get your vibration up, because that's what's going to protect you. And one more thing, if you do find out, say friends invite you to a place that's haunted. Maybe they say, oh, this is going to be fun. We're going to go to this, we're going to go to a haunted location. Don't go. And if you don't believe me, listen to what your heart says. Ask your heart, is this good for me? Can I overcome any negativity by going to this place? You don't catch me going to Salem. You don't catch me going to really haunted locations. I really don't need to go to these places to prove that I can protect myself. I respect the dark. It's okay to respect it. If you treat it like a game, if you treat it like, it's something to do or something exciting, trust me, a ghost attachment can do some horrible things. I've seen ghosts push people and then they got hurt, really badly hurt. I've seen ghosts break things and destroy people's finances. Ghosts can be gamblers, and they can attach to you and make you want to lose all your money, gamble it all away. Ghosts are not your friends. I've seen just about everything. And please, if you think you're dealing with a ghost, don't engage with it. Get rid of it. If you feel that you can cross it over, then if you can stay detached like a doctor and say to it, I know you're here. You don't belong here. You need to go to the light. Go to God. If you have a hard time doing it on your own, call on Archangel Michael. That's what he's here for. Archangel Michael is the archangel that helps fight negativity. He helps with crossing ghosts over. So you can call on him and ask him for help. Ask him to help you just by saying, Archangel Michael, I need you now. And you'll feel him next to you. He's really tall, really strong. A lot of times he gives you a hot flash to let you know that he's there. And he has a sword and a shield, and he will protect you. And you can call on him to help you cross a ghost. If the ghost doesn't go, don't be upset. It's not going to happen. Sometimes they're just people who have their own agenda. If they don't want to cross, then don't feel like you failed. But at the same time, don't befriend them, lock them out. There are ghosts that I had to actually banish. So there are ghosts that I could not cross. They wouldn't listen to me. And then I said, you are no longer welcome here. I banish you in the name of Archangel Michael and the sign of the cross, or whatever you want to say. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I banish you from my life. Don't ever come into my life and my family ever again. So you can banish a ghost if you can't get rid of it, if you can't cross it over. But I don't usually like to just get rid of ghosts, because then they might go down the street to a kid that's really psychic and bother that kid. I'd rather try and cross them to help them find the light for their own benefit, but also know that they're not going to hurt somebody else that is also psychic. If a lot of this resonates with you, if you were a kid and you started seeing ghosts and you were afraid, you might have blocked it. You might have told yourself, I'm afraid, I don't want to deal with it, and you close your third eye down. Well, a lot of people now their eyes are starting to open, and they're starting to realize that they're being called to help, to serve in some way. And it could be to cross these ghosts over. So I feel that knowledge is power. If you don't know what a ghost is, then, and you don't know how to fight it or how to help in your own way, if you don't have the knowledge, you're not going to be able to help, and it's just going to hurt you. And that's why I'm doing this video. It's all about knowledge. If you know that a ghost is not really a demon or a monster, that it's a person, that's all it is a person. Think of a ghost as like somebody in your neighborhood coming in your house that's unwanted, that goes in your fridge, makes a sandwich, and sits down on your couch and puts their feet up on your coffee table. What would you do? You would want them to leave, right? Like, what are you doing in my house? You weren't invited. It's the same thing with the ghost. Ghost is an unwanted visitor. That's all it is, and it's just a person. So don't be afraid of ghosts, but you need to respect the dark. There are ghosts that are really, really strong. And if they're that strong, don't do anything with them. Just banish them, clear your space, protect you and your loved ones. And remember, you're not only clearing your space for you so that you can feel more peace and calm in your home and your location, but you're protecting your kids. If you have kids and they're psychic and they can't sleep and they say, there's a person in my room watching me, they're telling the truth. There's a ghost in the room. And sometimes it can be a loved one on the other side that loves them. Ask them. Ask your child. How does it feel to you? Does it feel fearful? Are you afraid? Is it dark? Is it gray or black silhouette? Does it freak you out? If they say yes to that, it's a ghost. If it feels positive, if it feels uplifting, like someone's loving them, if they feel goosebumps, if it's a positive energy, then you know it's the loved one on the other side that has crossed into the light and that they're just watching over your child. So talk to your kids about it. Don't poo-poo them or negate their feelings. Trust me, they are telling you the truth on how they feel. Listen to them, talk it out, and show them. The kids have a lot of power too. They can tell a ghost to leave. They have the power because they are alive. The ghost is dead, has no body, but we have the advantage. We have the advantage because we are a living, breathing incarnation, and we are part of this planet, and we have the power to rid the ghosts. We have the power to cast them out, to help them cross. We have that power. Even a little kid can cross a ghost over. It's that easy. It's just, you can't be afraid. Ghosts attach to fear. Don't be afraid. And especially, call on Archangel Michael. You will feel his power. You never have to be afraid when he's around you. He will protect you and keep you safe and fight all evil and negativity. As it is around you, it is a reality. We have light and dark on the earth, but we have the power to fight it and to find peace and to be protected. You have the power within you. Like Dorothy, you had it all along. Thank you so much for listening today. And just stay tuned to my other videos. Please subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.